Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I have a channeled message for you. This is coming from Archangel Sandalphon. Archangel Sandalphon is one of many archangels. If How I thought about him, so before I channeled him, the information that I had about him that resonated was he is the archangel of musicians and the archangel of singers. So anyone out there who sings, who loves singing, who loves playing an instrument, whether you do it professionally or not, Archangel Sandalphon is one of your guides for sure. So I I learned more information about him, and this isn't like the longest. This will not be the longest video you've ever seen from me, but I felt like he gave me really good, concrete information about himself. And honestly, I want to go back at some point and try to dig deeper with him because he gave me some really good stuff and it got me really excited. It got me really excited to work with archangels, which this happens every time. Every time I take a moment to channel an archangel that I don't normally channel, I'm always like, man, why did I wait so long to channel them? Why haven't I been doing this more? Happened with Uriel, happened with Raziel, happened, I don't know. It happens every time. It happens every time. So Sandalphon, let me tell you about him. So the first thing he did is he comes in and touches my feet, which if you watch my videos regularly, you may have heard me say that I have like a sensitivity with my feet. So when a guide comes in and touches my feet, it's communicating this message to me of you are safe, you are loved. And part of this is because the chakras in your feet connect back through your legs up to your root chakra. Your root chakra is connected to feelings of safety, feelings of stability, having a strong foundation, feeling secure, feeling grounded. So he touched my feet and I'm like, okay, I got you. But then it was interesting because he touched my feet and then he was still holding my feet and I could kind of feel his energy like moving up my lower leg. So I was like, huh. And it felt like he was anchoring my energy or like grounding my energy. And then I could feel it move up again. So it's in my feet, it's in my lower legs, and it's moving up to my upper legs. And I could just feel that weighted, secure feeling like it's pulling me down to the earth. Sandalphon is associated with the color red. He has a connection with the Earth Star chakra. The Earth Star chakra is a etheric chakra. It's outside of your physical body. It's located below your feet. Like it's one chakra. It's below your feet in the center, probably about a foot or so below your feet is what I'm going to say. That chakra helps you with grounding. It helps you with feeling connected to the wider galactic community. And it also helps you with manifesting in the physical world. Amanda Ellis has a spray. I know you can't read it because her label is too shiny. This is the Archangel Sandalphon spray. Let me just spray this and just ask him to come in for everyone while we do the rest of this. So this spray is called Bronze Earth Star Energy Spray. It does smell very like earthy. Sorry, had Oliver run away. It does smell really earthy. It's like wet earth. Wet earth is what this smells like. And like pine needles. That's what it smells like to me. and so let me keep going with this. So the way he was giving me information, so instead of like channeling directly to me, he started off by giving me downloads. So that's why I'm telling you, he's associated with the color red. He's this, he's that, because he's just dropping that knowing into my brain. So Sandalphon has a connection to the lower shamanic realms, and the passageways typically accessed through drumming or chanting. So if you think about shamans and you think about how shamans travel down into the lower realms to do things with the ancestors or the spirit animals or soul parts or whatever. So there's certain passageways that they typically use, and they access those spaces by going into a trance normally. So, I mean, you do not have to go into a trance anymore to access all these different realms, but a lot of people use music to go into trances, or even like drugs. But so if you think of like the chanting, the rhythmic chanting or the rhythmic drumming, and that lay down, Oliver. Oliver's here. Lay down, buddy. That helps the shaman go into that frequency. And so that makes sense because Sandalphon's associated with musicians. So it makes sense that he does this. What fascinated me, because part of my job is going to the astral realm sometimes. So the astral realm is where demonic energies are. The astral realm is where departed souls are who either don't know they're dead or they don't know how to get to where they need to go. And so that's a realm that is in the first, second, and third dimension. It crosses over all three of those dimensions. What fascinated me is that he showed me this shamanic realm, which is not the astral realm. And that blew my mind, because I guess I should have asked more questions, because whenever I go into the astral realm, I never see a spirit animal. I never see, like, ancestors that have gone back to the light and then they've come back around to assist, which is how you should be connecting with your ancestors. They should have gone back to the light first. And so it made sense to me all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, that's why I never see anything good in that space, because it's a separate realm entirely. Let's see. And so I was trying to feel into Sandalphon's energy, and he was kind of laughing at me when I'm like making these discoveries. His energy was very gentle, which is very standard for an archangel, and he seemed to have a sense of humor, which again is kind of standard for an archangel. So Sandalphon is able to connect a person with certain frequencies or certain flows of energy. And I shouldn't just say certain, it's any. I was trying so hard to translate this because he was giving me these like really big, beautiful ideas, and I want to make sure I do it accurately. Let me see if he can help me right now with this. By the way, if you are interested in feeling Sandalphon's energy and you haven't felt anything yet, I'm going to go ahead and ask him to interact with you in a way that you can pick up on, whether that is hearing something, seeing something, smelling something, feeling something, knowing something. Because we all have different sensory abilities, and so he's going to use the one that's easiest for you to detect. So Sandalphon, it's almost like he showed me, it's almost like he stood up and showed me all the frequencies in the world, They were all lined up. And he's like, which frequency do you want to be connected to? It's almost like he is the telephone operator and he can connect you wherever you like. In the state of flow is where inspiration is easily translated into expression. Sandalphon works with musicians, writers, I didn't say this before, musicians, writers, singers, dancers, children, inventors, and those I typoed and I have to figure out what I wrote. And those who whose psychic gifts to assist them with, and those with psychic gifts to assist them with aligning with the flow of input from divine. Oh man, these flows of input are part of the collective consciousness. This type of collective consciousness belongs not just to humanity. So this is important because usually when we talk about collective consciousness, we are tapping into Earth. Usually, it would have to be a very unique individual to go outside of that and tap into other collective energies. Sandalphon is like, I have access to everything, not just what's on Earth. So it's really cool because, let me just say what he wrote and then I'll talk about it. This type of collective consciousness belongs not just to humanity, but all existence. This is the alive field. In this space, one can connect with angelic singing, or dancing from Orion, or inventions created on other planets hundreds of thousands of years ago. This collective consciousness is outside of time, and so it is preserved indefinitely, the way Metatron preserves all that has happened before in the Book of Life. Okay, so I have to stop and talk about this because it's so freaking cool. So if you're a singer, he's talking about, well, you could theoretically, you're working with Sandalphon. Theoretically, you can connect to the angelic flow in your song, or you could connect to a specific planet's flow or frequency in your song, or whatever it is you're trying to connect with, right? If you're like, I'm trying to connect with fox energy, I want to sing fox energy, there's such a thing and he can connect you with that. Or if you're trying to invent something or write about something, same thing, he can connect you anywhere. So when he was telling me about this, all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I always see him next to me. I couldn't figure it out because I would tell people, hey, he's the Archangel. He's the Archangel of musicians and singers. Well, I'm not a musician and I'm not a singer. And so I'm like, why does this guy, I always see him show up. Why am I seeing him show up? It's because every time I'm writing, every time I'm like trying to channel somewhere else, he's part of that. He's helping me connect with the right flow of energy in the beginning. And then Archangel Gabriel or Gabrielle is helping me with translating everything into language. To have Sandalphon connect you to these different flows of energies takes more than a simple request. You must have courage. You must not be afraid. And you must begin to use your willpower to walk towards that which you are longing to express. Passion and desire will help you to align easily, as will the expressing of your own emotions. Be willing to be vulnerable to not hinder the flow. So this is important because if you're like, hey, Sandalphon, I'm a musician. I really want you to connect me with XYZ, this kind of flow, this kind of vibe in my music as I'm composing it. Well, he can plug you in. But if your energy is like, afraid of being vulnerable and embracing that flow and being honest about that flow. Because and see, musicians know this. Musicians know this. And it's the same thing as a channeler. When you get into a certain, and there's no other word for it, when you get into a certain flow, you know it because the information comes easily. And it just comes. You're not thinking about it. The notes just come, or the words just come, and it just keeps flowing. When our ego gets involved, when we become afraid, when we think, oh, what will people think? What will people say? Will people like this? When we start thinking things like that, it hinders the flow. It stops it. And so our willpower is in charge of that. We have to be willing to be vulnerable and to be honest about what comes through when we are channeling, whether we are a musician who's channeling, or a person writing who's channeling, or a dancer who's channeling, or an inventor who's channeling. We need to be honest and complete about what comes through, because if we're only letting part of the message come through, we're not getting the full impact. So we have to be true to what we channel. Creating music or dance or words from the divine is bringing the divine to Earth. Earth and its inhabitants need more divine energy to ascend. Creators help bring this energy and inspiration to the planet. Those who access the Akashic records are also connected to a specific flow of energy, a specific frequency. The goal is not to merely access the frequency, but to use the frequency to plant it back on Earth. Your gifts help no one if you keep them to yourself. They do not even benefit yourself when you keep them to yourself, for there is no growth without vulnerability. There are many realms and spaces that can be connected to. There are spaces where the plants speak. There are spaces where the stars speak. There are more languages for more groups than you would believe. The galactic ocean realm, and the realms of knowledge where ancient Egyptians channeled from. Tribal magic and tribal medicine. Secrets about time. Lunar power not yet known on Earth. And mystical understanding of flowers like the rose, the iris, and the dahlia. Secrets of the divine feminine. Fairy magic and healing. Knowledge of sacred and historical sites. The galactic history behind animals such as the horse, the fox, and the lion. Secrets of the physical elements, earth, air, fire, and water. There are worlds between the worlds, and I assist you with connecting to them. So that's the end of his message. So I have to go back and talk about what he said. So when he's talking about the earth needs this divine energy. When you are connecting with one of those flows of energy, you're connecting to divine information, and the earth needs you to give that back. So it doesn't help anyone if you're like a channeler or you're writing music and then you don't do anything with it. That helps no one. This is the reason why Archangel Sandalphon is associated with that Earth Star chakra, because the Earth Star chakra assists with taking what is divine and implanting it into the crystalline structure. I've lost all my words right now. Into the crystalline grid that surrounds the earth, that is within the earth. So this is important because Sandalphon is the one helping you plant that into the earth so that that can manifest as something in the physical world. So it's like, it all makes so much sense once I did this. What else? What else? There is no growth without vulnerability. There is no growth without vulnerability. When he started talking about all the different realms and spaces where he's like, the plants speak in this space, the stars speak in this frequency. I was just sitting there going, oh my God. Like, I just wanted to like make Sandalphon my best friend. And I hate when I love it and I hate it. I love it and I hate it when they do this to me. Because what he just did is like, I'm the kid and he's the candy store. And he just went, look at these infinite flavors of candy that I have. And I'm over here with finite time. And I'm just like, well, which one should I try first? Because I don't have the time to learn about everything. And so that is the biggest struggle. This is a high, when people talk about like first world problems, this is like a high vibrational channeler problem. The problem becomes you can't have everything. You don't have time or energy or whatever to learn about everything. And so you have to start picking what you want to learn about. And that actually kills me because, man, I want to know it all so badly. And I bet a lot of you are like that too, where you would just, if somebody already channeled it all and knew it all and was putting it in books, you would just sit down and you would just read it all because you want to know. But I guess this is why we have to all know enough about ourselves to know what we're the most passionate about. And we have to experiment and try new things to see what we love the most so that we can better choose where it is we want to spend our efforts. Because if you're like me, you wish you could do it all. Like, I wish I could just write books and I wish I could just learn about the planets and I wish all these things, right? But it's like, I still need to put I still need to put content out, but I still need to like do my laundry, but I still need to, take care of my kids or book clients or run a business. Like, obviously all of us have many things that we're trying to balance. But man, I wish there was one of me to do all my chores and one of me to like take care of my personal relationships, because the third one of me would not sleep. I would just channel 24 hours a day. Sounds ridiculous, but that I would truly do that if I could. Okay. So this is what I have for Sandalphon. Like I said, it's not necessarily the longest message in the world, but man, he came packing. Like, he had things to say. So I hope you could feel Sandalphon's energy in some way. He does remind me of Metatron in that he is kind of quiet. Like, he kind of stands back. He has right? Like, he's got a quiet energy. He's not like Raziel or Michael. Those guys are like, hey, they're kind of like, I mean, I don't want to say they're class clowns because that's not quite right, but they are, they don't mind being the center of attention. Gabriel is the same way. Chatty. I mean, obviously, Archangel of Messages, chatty, 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 chatty. So yeah, so some of these archangels are just like really kind of a little more in your face, a little more, I mean, that's not even the right word. They're more visible. It's easier to pick up on their energy. Sandalphon and Metatron both kind of hang back. They're really chill. They're really quiet. Nice people, but like they're not gonna they're not going to chase you down. Like you need to reach out to them if you want to interact with them. So I'm going to have to start making an effort with Sandalphon because he's got the freaking keys to the castle. Like he's got all the abilities that I want to know more about. So I'll have to explore that more and let you guys know what I find out. Okay, I hope you enjoyed learning more about Sandalphon. Please feel free to reach out to him or any other archangel anytime you want about anything. Doesn't matter if that's what they are known for. Does not matter at all. Archangels love helping. That's their job. They're literally like sitting around being like, man, I wish there was a human who would ask me for assistance because I would love to help them. Like they love getting involved. You're never bothering them. They are never too busy. They are an infinite energy. And so they like Metatron is with me 24/7. He's also with Susan 24/7. He's also with millions of other people right now, probably. They can be as many places as they need to be at once. So they're not limited by space and time the way we are in a physical incarnation, although our job is kind of to learn not to be limited by that, right? Because as we start tapping into these other spaces, we can see what it's like outside of time and outside of all of these other fun things. If you are interested in connecting more with archangels in general, Susan and I have an angel activation that is designed to modify your energy body to ensure that you do not have any blocks in your energy in the areas that are needed for you to interact and communicate and connect clearly with your guides. We also do a little bit of energy work just to make sure you have everything energetically that you need to connect. After that, it's really just about practice and reaching out and trying to make that connection, trying to make that effort, right? Because it's just like a relationship. It takes time, it takes effort. If you only, reach out to them once a month, then you're going to have a once a month kind of relationship with them. If you're talking with them every day, you're going to have a totally different dynamic, right? And so it's just all about what we are willing to invest in our relationship with each of our guides. But if you are interested in connecting with archangels, if that's something that you feel drawn to, there's a reason you feel drawn to it. So if you feel like you could benefit from the angel activation, feel free to reach out to us. I will link that in the description. We also have an Archangel Metatron activation, and that's just Metatron because Metatron, and this is hard to explain. So the angel activation is really if you feel really drawn to maybe certain archangels, maybe even all of them, right, as individuals. Metatron is separate. Metatron is his own creature, and if you are drawn to him, there's a reason for that, and that is very unique. When someone feels drawn to him, there's a reason. So if you would like to do the Metatron activation, I'll link that also. And feel free to email us if you have questions about the two or questions about any of our services. Always feel free to reach out. Okay, this is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.